Today's video is kind of a follow-up from the last one I did about ditching the tab. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out here. So in that video I made this comment. So there's two reasons why you should commit the tune to memory. The first reason is once it's in your memory, it allows you to do what you're meant to do with music, and that's play. One of the verbs for making music, perhaps the most common verb for making music, is to play. And what does that mean? That means having fun. That means sometimes being spontaneous, being creative. So the only way you can do that with these tunes is to already know the tune, and then once you know the tune, you can just play with it, have fun with it. So to demonstrate that point, I'm going to take a tune and I'm going to play with it. And I've decided to use the Galway Girl as an example. I made a tutorial on playing the Galway Girl a while ago. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out here. And you can download tab for it as well, but just remember, keep the tune in your head as fast as you can and then ditch the tab. And then once you ditch the tab, you can start doing some fun things like what I'm going to show you now. So the first fun thing that you can do with this tune is add some triplets. So the triplets that I'm going to be playing is when you go from one hole to the next hole and then back again really fast. It's a movement like this. And I made a tutorial on that too, so you can check out that tutorial here. So first I'll play the straight melody of the Galway Girl, and then I'll try it with some triplets. So the first part of it goes like this. So we could add some triplets and yeah, let's see what this sounds like. So that first triplet I was doing was going between 6 draw and 7 draw. And the other one was, I think, 4 draw. Going between 4 draw and 5 draw. And there'll be other spaces where you can throw in triplets. Really it's just a matter of finding places where you think it sounds good and going for it. On this tune, another cool thing you can do is utilise that sweet spot at the lower end of the harmonica where all these really nice chords are. And this tune, yeah, just sits right in that sweet spot. So here's what I mean. Here's the melody just played with single notes. If you want to play some chords, just play the next note to it. So yeah, it's all sorts of things you can do there to get some beautiful sounds, I think. When I was playing the 6-7 draw then, I went back to single notes because the chord isn't really there on the 6 and 7 draw. So yeah, you have to be very careful once you get yeah, beyond 6 draw. Really, that's when the harmonica starts to become more about the melody. So you can still play chords at that end, but yeah, that's really another lesson, I think, and it takes a lot more skill, and the harmonica is a lot less forgiving, I think, at the high end as well. If you play two notes together, you have to be very careful and just have the right approach to it. But down at the low end, no problem, I think. So another thing you can do with those chords is vamping. So vamping is really providing this backbeat with a chord. So it's like, it's a tongue blocking technique. So if you don't tongue block, I'd recommend it as a reason to start taking it up. I've made a few videos too about vamping, so they'll start coming up here. You can check those out too. So let's try a little bit of vamping on the Galway Girl. It's really two techniques. It's kind of one called tongue slapping, where you bring your tongue down, and then the vamping part is when you lift your tongue up to produce the chord. Imagine this is my tongue, and I'll bring it down onto the comb, and that's the slapping motion. And when it's off the comb, that's when you hear the vamping. It's when you hear the chord being produced. So it starts with the chord. So I'll put it into the tune now. Let's see what happens. So let's take the chord now and let's split it into single notes. So instead of playing the main melody, play a harmony instead. So here's the start of the main melody. Starts on 4 draw. Why don't you start on 4 blow rather? Why don't you start on 5 blow and play exactly the same thing? Everything's just moved up one whole. So So that's another fun little technique that you can do with this tune. And that can sound great too when you're playing with other people and then suddenly you just throw this harmony in. So yeah, play around with those and have some fun. So I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to play the tune and I'm just going to try out all these different techniques. I'm not really going to think too hard about it. I'm just going to practice what I preach and just have a little bit of fun with the tune. See you later.